As the leader of your company, understanding the power of bad, how to use and manage it, can make you more successful. This video can help with that. Hello everyone, my name is Tim B. Green and this is Crush It Club episode 89, book review, The Power of Bad, part 2. So if this video is helpful, useful, you learn anything that you can actually use from it, which I hope you do, that's why I work so hard at these videos, please comment, share, subscribe. Thank you very much in advance for the support that you give. Remember how you felt when your boss, a bully, or anybody else, your parent, berated you loudly and publicly, or the last time you had a screaming match with your significant other? What was the next 15 minutes after the experience over like? It's the same way for virtually everybody else, because the neuroscience of bad is, and the reason bad is more powerful than good, it's not just powerful, it's far more powerful than good in terms of our experiences, because in evolution, and I love this saying, I'm going to flip it around, death has to win only once. Life has to win every day. So for our ancestors to survive and make babies that made babies that made babies that made us, eventually they had to survive. So when there was a bad feeling, a threat, a fear, a danger, the evolutionary advantage of responding immediately and strongly kept you alive. That's not the world we live in today. And it's why anxiety and many other things are coming up now, because we don't really have a very threatening world, despite what the news tells you, because the news sells the power of bad. Because it sells better. People pay more attention to it, at least in the short term. But being as the neuroscience of bad was to keep us alive in emergency situations, and that's no longer the case. What do you think? Do you think that's the best way to manage your business, your company, or your relationships? This video is part 2 of 2 videos reviewing the book The Power of Bad by John Tierney and Roy Baumeister. It's going to focus actually on the last chapter, which is called The Future of Good. So it ends on a high note. The book is actually pretty optimistic and positive in a lot of ways, but the book was to strive, or the researchers did this work to strive to understand the power of bad so they could learn how to grow the good. And it's pretty brilliant, actually. So I want to bring back something that I talked about in the last video, and that's called the feedback sandwich, which we all know it usually has a different name. But here's the bad news about the sandwich. It almost never works and usually has the opposite effect we intend it to, with people leaving feeling bad. Good, bad, good. There's a lot of reasons why I don't have time to explain in this one video because I don't want to focus on that. But that sandwich usually leaves a bad taste. It is a default sandwich, and what we need to do is make custom order sandwiches for the person, for the desired outcome or effect you want the sandwich to have, and for the situation. They must be customized, otherwise it's just overall a bad thing. So here's a brilliant thing they say very nearly the end of the book, and probably the overarching message, and this is what they're calling the negative golden rule. Excuse me while I read it verbatim so I don't mess it up. And say, it's what you don't do unto others that matters most in all relationships. It's essentially, it's what you don't do unto others that matters most. But I added the all relationships because anything where you're dealing with humans, that is, as a leader of a company, it's always relationships, directly, indirectly, whatever it is a relationship of some kind. So anytime you have the opportunity, anytime you can prevent doing something bad, breaking a promise, yelling, screaming, turning into Steve Jobs and telling people literally, and this is documented in the book by the former president of Disney. The book was The Ride of My Life. Sometimes he would, in front of somebody's face, say, I don't like you, you're a waste of space. Just imagine what that would do to morale for that individual and how effective they would be for a significant amount of time. I'm amazed Apple did as well as it did with his unfortunate unwillingness to keep a positive workplace culture. So here's what you need to do. The main thing you want to try to do is, in any situation, to avoid producing bad unnecessarily, is you want to be mindful. You want to pause. This gives your PFC, or prefrontal cortex, this part here, the most reasoning part of your brain, a chance to catch up with your emotions, because your emotions, and especially your bad emotions, your emotions are faster, but your bad emotions are more powerful because they kept you alive much more than your good did, or at least our ancestors. So you want to slow that down, let your reasoning catch up, and give yourself a chance to sort of consider counterpoints to whatever bad you instantly feel. That counting to 10 is actually brilliant. It really does work, and the neuroscience supports it. Think about counterpoints. Think about positive progress and positive results you make when sudden bad situations come up. So don't just react right away. Don't make a determination right away. Think about that. Calm yourself down a little bit. Do that. And also, probably one of the most powerful things is to get an outside perspective from somebody who is not emotionally charged or invested in that situation at that time. Okay, which is obvious. Another one they talk about is avoiding broken promises. You are far better not to make a promise than to break a promise. All of us know what it's like when somebody flakes on a meeting or flakes on a commitment. And sad to say, I would say that is the rule rather than the exception. And when people follow through for us consistently, they stand out in such a positive way. That's been my experience, especially online. But in life in general, a lot of people make promises that they can't or never intend to deliver. If that's the case, just don't make the promise. You're not going to disappoint somebody from not delivering something you didn't promise. Okay. The other one is to recognize how powerful criticism is. I'll loop back to the start of this video that I talked about. Already talked about that. And so also knowing how criticism feels, knowing how bad feels to you and everybody, try to give it more constructively or more gently and receive it more constructively so that it teaches instead of traumatizes whoever the recipient is. And I want to leave you with one last thought, and that is, whatever starts at the top rolls downhill. This has been Crush It Club, episode 89. Book review, The Power of Bad, part 2. My name is Tim B. Green. Bye for now.